Hi, so if you're a Virgo, born August 23rd to September 22nd, what can you expect for the month of July 2015? Let's tune in and find out. Okay, so this month, you're going to be feeling like you're pulled in a lot of different directions, and you really need to keep your focus. You're really going to need to pull it all in and put your focus on getting things done and what it is that you want to do. And there's a lot of reason to kind of you know, be distracted. I feel like there's family and there's fun and there's different things, but there's things that you need to do for you that won't get done if you kind of just, run out and play all the time. So there's also, for some of you who got, right away coming up with stuff in my throat, there's things that you need to say, things that you need to do, things that you've been avoiding. So there is a full moon July 1st in Capricorn, and that energy can sometimes be really heavy, and it may have to do with what it is you're not saying or what it is you're not doing. So just be aware that one of the ways that you can help to diminish this is to actually, you can sit down and you can write a letter, everything that you want to say, and destroy the letter, right? Like let out the anger, let out the frustration, let out the sadness, and then burn that letter. It kind of helps to dissipate things. It helps you to, so it's a clearing of sorts, right? And then you could just have a conversation with whoever it is that you need to talk to after you write the letter. Because a lot of times once we get that initial rah out of the way, we're calmer, okay? And I know Virgos, your energy, there's a Capricorn, the heaviness, sometimes it's a little bit like water and oil, but it's going to be fine. What you just really need to do is just kind of relax around the first, take care of yourself, and stay focused on what you want to do. And that full moon, you'll get through it just fine. Okay, let's look at your money overall for the month, Virgo. What can you expect for the month? Some of you have recently, it feels like, maybe gone down a little bit with your money. It could be because you paid off a car or bought a new car or going on an exotic vacation, or bought new equipment, for your business, whatever it is. It feels like you had a big expense that went out. Or it could be just that your investments are down, but it feels, like there's a little bit of disconnect. As you go into the July, you're going to be noticing that, but I also feel like there's also at the tail end of July, you'll be able to put a cork on that, like it's going to be done, like that's over, the payments are over, we're done. It could even be that you're paying off your mortgage or paying off your car, and that finally gets finalized, or student loans or something gets done. So it feels like there's also completion there, and which doesn't surprise me because we have a second full moon, July 31st in Aquarius, and that's a much lighter moon. It's much more celebratory. So there's a lot of happiness, a lot of joy. And of course, who wouldn't be happy if you're paying something off and you're done with it, right? So some of you may be enjoying that part. Now let's look at relationships. So those of you that are in a committed relationship for the month of July, what can you expect if you're a Virgo? So I see Virgos like to have, their partner wrapped around their finger. And you may notice that it comes unwrapped a little bit. So they're not quite like doing everything that you want them to do. So don't stress. It's not a big deal. They haven't gone anywhere. It's like a Band-Aid that just came off just a little bit, but it's still there. You know what I'm talking about. So it's all good. Things are not exactly under your control the way you would like them, but they're fine. And I really feel by after the new moon, by the way, we have a new moon, July 15th in Cancer. And Cancer, is all about our emotions. It's that our inner feelings. And so you may have a lot of things come up, and which I was talking about in your throat earlier. So at the beginning of the month, you may have a lot of emotions come up. And this could even be sadness. It could be, you could be grieving something that you haven't had an opportunity to grieve before. And, whether you've retired and left your job, or whether you've lost your parents, or whether you've divorced, or you've sold a business, there's been a lot of trials. A lot of people have lost a lot of things, and whether it's a miscarriage or whatever it is, there's a lot of reasons why we grieve, right? The good news is this new beginning of Aquarius, this full moon, July 31st, is going to bring a completion to all that sadness and open up to a real happiness and a real joy. So there's going to be a real positive flow back into your life by the end of the month. So the beginning of the month, little dicey, but by the end, you're going to be fine. Even not even that long. By the middle, third week, you're going to be good. Now, health. Let's look at your, let me go back to relationships, okay? So coupled relationships. We talked about that. Now, if you're single, that's what I need to cover. So if you're a single Virgo, you could really expect to have things open up for you. You may not feel like partying. You may feel a little like, oh, but this is a time to kind of take care of you. It's a time around the 1st, I'm talking about around July 1st, those first couple of days, really taking time for yourself. It does feel like it opens up around the 3rd or the 4th, where there's a lot more opportunity to go out and have fun, and you'll feel more like it. You'll feel more in yourself and ready to have a good time. And there's some real heightened excitement around the 10th or the 15th. So those 2 dates are popping in as having, special opportunity to enjoy yourself and to connect with the right and perfect partner for you. Now, it also feels like something, okay, so they're showing me kind of like being single this month for Virgos is a little bit like putting your toe in really cold water. It's like, oh, oof. And then all of a sudden it gets really warm and really nice. And by the end, you're like, oh, this is great, right? So the month is a little bit like that. So just enjoy it, have fun, and don't worry about it. A little water didn't hurt anybody. Okay, so now let's look at your health, overall health for Virgos. I see this kind of like looking at you, taking an opportunity externally for you, kind of like taking care of the things that you need to be done, whether it's, a little touch up here, a little touch up there, change of the hair, change of the face, makeup wise, externally. So it looks like there's an opportunity to kind of like look external at yourself and make some changes that way. I would be careful around doing any plastic surgery or anything like that. July 25th to, I think it's, September 6th or something like that. I'm going by memory. You may want to Google it, but Venus goes retrograde, and Venus is the planet of beauty. So you really want her support when you're doing a makeover. So if you do something like that earlier in the month, that would be great, but not at the end of the month, not after July 25th, just because of Venus is not available. She's out of the building. So you don't want to do something drastic at the end of July all the way to early September, okay, while she is asleep. All right, so now, overall for the month, let's look at overall for Virgos, anything you can expect. Yeah, it looks like really like overall, this is a really good opportunity if you guys get focused, get a lot done, clean out closets, go through a lot of things that need to be released when you let go of stuff, emotional stuff. And some of you may have been hanging on to things from your childhood. You may have been hanging on to things from a divorced person or an ex, and it's just time to kind of like purge and let go, or a dream that you never had, and it's finally like, you know what? I'm never going to fit in those size 2s again. Who am I kidding? Throwing them out. I'm never going to paint again. I'm just done. I'm letting it go. So it's kind of like letting go of things that aren't of use to you anymore. And I think when you do that, you're going to have a lot more freedom, and this month is really going to flow a lot better. So it's a really good month to kind of take care of you, focus, get things done that you need to get done, and you're going to have a really successful month. So Virgos, enjoy yourself, have a good time, get those things done that you need to get done, because you're going to be really busy after that. There's a lot of happening going on for you. So use this month to focus and get things done. And if you enjoyed my intuitive astrology, give me a thumbs up or a like on my page, and I'm happy to let you know I appreciate it greatly, and share it with your friends. And I look forward to connecting with you again next month.